Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So in this one, I wanted to really just talk about my favorite free agency signing that the Jets made, but more importantly, I would love to hear yours down below in the comment section, right? There's obviously tons of different options, both offensively and defensively, and it should be really fun to kind of dive in and just check out everybody's opinions. So with that being said, let's jump in. So I actually really like what the Jets did this offseason, right? We added tons of depth, tons of talent, upgraded at huge positions of need, and I mean, man, it was tough to kind of narrow down the list here. Lake and Tomlinson, I really like Conklin, I really like Whitehead from Tampa Bay, but I gotta be honest, my favorite free agent acquisition that the Jets made this offseason was bringing in cornerback from the Seattle Seahawks, D.J.Reed. Coming in on that 3-year contract worth $33 million, he's 25 years old, coming off the best season of his career, 78 tackles, 2 interceptions, 10 passes defended against, as that boundary corner. 5'9", boundary corner, it doesn't really go together, but DJ Reed made it work. Credit Seattle, credit that front office, credit Pete Carroll for taking a guy who was initially a later round draft pick out of Kansas State, who didn't really work out with San Francisco, and took him at 5'9" and said, you know what, we're not going to put you as that nickel cornerback, as that nickel safety, we're going to move you to the outside, and man, did it work out. He spent the last couple of seasons with the Hawks and continued to get better with time, so he was a younger player that was ascending, and I'm all about young ascending players here. Again, circling back to his age at 25 years old, he's not in the thick of his prime yet. Okay, he's not 27, 28 years old. He hasn't been in the league for years and years in this same style of role. Yeah, he's played in 55 games, but it's not like he's been doing the same exact job. The first 2 seasons in San Francisco, he was doing something else. I believe that he still has room to grow, that he has untapped potential, and I think the more that he's out there, the stock will continue to rise. And look, I get it. You know, I'm a Jet fan. The guy just signed with the Jets. It's a pretty optimistic viewpoint. You could almost say, hey man, that's like a homer type of statement. I understand it, but all the arrows, right, when we're talking about DJ Reed, all the arrows are pointing in the right direction for this signing to be successful, and I'm really excited for him. We already talked about him playing with the 49ers defense, him being drafted by Coach Saleh himself. Okay, so he's coming in as a familiar face. We understand those things, but here's the cool part about it. Of course, DJ Reed didn't work out in San Francisco long term, but he goes to Seattle, and now he's reuniting with Saleh. I mean, we have the answers to the test here. Seattle almost cracked the code. It's almost like handing a friend an unfinished Rubik's Cube, and he gives it back to you, and it's complete. All you got to do is make one move, and it's done. Seattle cracked the code. He's a boundary cornerback, despite being 5'9", over 190 pounds, isn't the biggest guy in the world, but that's where he had the most success. And Saleh has admitted that. You know, credit Seattle. They figured it out. Okay, they got to it before I did. But now, here, the beauty of it, he's back with Saleh. He's back in the same style of defense, and we now know how to use him. Okay, so he's gritty, he's aggressive, he has a high defensive IQ, he is quick, he is not afraid to tackle, he is not afraid to stick his hand in there and come up with a pass defense. Okay, I'm a big fan of this signing. And by the way, 3 years, $33 million. Xavier Howard just signed the other day for over $20 million. Okay, cornerback ones, we saw what J.C. Jackson got paid. We know how much Marlon Humphrey's getting paid. We know how much Jalen Ramsey's getting paid. Okay, upwards of $19, $20 million a season. We're getting DJ Reed, a capable starting outside guy, a day one upgrade over everybody on the roster. For $33 million that's spread out over 3 seasons, sign me up for that, okay? I'm totally amped for DJ Reed, and I think a year from now, right, 12 months from now, we're going to be looking at this contract as an absolute bargain. You know, I'm looking at DJ Reed's contract right now. I'm looking at everything. Physical skill set, system fit, mental makeup, him already knowing Robert Saleh, and Saleh already showing that interest in him at a very young age. Seattle already cracking the code, having the blueprint on where DJ Reed has had the most success. Now he just has to come into the Jets locker room and pretty much duplicate it, which I definitely feel like is doable. Him at his age, 25, he's getting better with time. The more he's out there, the more that defensive coaches put on his plate, it seems he rises to the occasion. I love this signing. We didn't have to overpay to get this guy either. I mean, the Jets are record-wise a bottom 5 team in the NFL right now. Okay, it would have taken an absolute mega deal to bring in a JC Jackson, to bring in a Carlton Davis, okay, to maybe even bring in a Stephon Gilmore, right? We would have to overpay for some of these guys, but for DJ Reed, we didn't. We didn't. That averages out to $11 million a season. That's not how the money's actually worked out. You know, I believe it's a little bit less this season and a little bit more next season, but 33 over 3 years is a fantastic, fantastic deal in my opinion. And last but not least, and I absolutely hate saying this, but the Jets had the worst defense in football last year. It was atrocious. Okay, and I mean, I'm a defensive guy. It's all I've known my entire life, right? Jets and defense have been hand in hand since I was a kid. You know, and to see the 32nd ranked defense last year, it was hard. It was very, very hard to watch. And I understand it with the injuries and Salah being a first year head coach and, you know, all the youth out there, guys taking their lumps, the rookies. I get it, but it cannot happen again. If the Jets finish next season, again, as the worst defense in football, I think there's going to be major problems. Okay, so DJ Reed is coming into the worst defense in football, and I definitely see him benefiting this team. Okay, so let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Who was your favorite free agency signing? Was it Tomlinson? Was it Uzama? Was it Conklin? Was it bringing back the backup quarterbacks? I mean, I feel like all of these acquisitions, I don't really scratch my head or question or am, you know, disappointed or irritated with any of these signings. I'm really not. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.